Hello and welcome to another episode of the SHU Doing podcast. I am Aaron Burrell alongside Paul Guarino.
What's up, everybody?
And we are joined by our former intern, Anthony Surrusco. How are we doing, Anthony?
Doing
MVP, MVP, MVP.
This is the first time we've had an intern come on the show. Former intern, I should say, because you are on to much bigger and much better.
Moving up.
So we'll start at the beginning of your Sacred Heart journey. Why was Sacred Heart the school for you?
Yeah, it was a really weird time. I graduated high school like in the middle of the pandemic, so it was very uncertain future. So I didn't want to like commit to anything like super far from home. I grew up 10 minutes from here, so I'm very familiar with the area. My mom works here.
Okay.
She graduated from here, so I was really familiar with it, and it just felt like the right thing at the time. And then if I didn't like it, I could transfer, but I ended up loving it and staying.
Nice. What did your mom teach, or does she teach?
She works in IT, so
Oh.
she's the computer systems analyst or something.
Gosh,
But,
very
yeah.
cool.
So it all kind of makes sense, like how
Yeah.
you got into it.
Yeah. Always been into technology.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's dope.
Okay, so when you come on campus first year, do you know what major you wanted to go into, or were you kind of figuring it out as you got here?
Yeah, I mean, I had a general idea. I've always really enjoyed doing photography, videography, anything social media wise. So I came in as a film, television, and media major.
Okay.
And I did graduate with it, but I added sports communication and media because I really love sports and especially integrating sports and media. So that ended up being it was a double major, but it was that was like my main thing. For sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. When did you like kind of know that you kind of like you wanted to do that and work in sports versus film? I guess because you went.
Yeah, the film thing was more focused on like actual films, like
Yeah.
movies and stuff, and obviously I enjoy watching movies and stuff, but it was almost as if you were taking like a director's path, and that really wasn't just for me.
Yeah.
But I still got a lot out of all the classes, and it showed me that I do actually really want to pursue sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. What about like anything from that film segment? Did you take that and then incorporate it into the sports?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the classes were the same. I really didn't have to take a whole lot more classes to add on to make it a double major. So, we did like editing courses and stuff too, which obviously is
Key.
yeah, it's key for everything. So things like that, the hands-on aspects for sure carried over to the other major.
Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, as you said, you've always been into photography. I think that was one of the things that when we were looking for an intern, I think that was one of the first things told to us by your professor. Can you tell us about who was your professor at that time?
Miller or no, OC. Was it OC or
Yeah,
Miller?
thought so,
OC.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he
yeah.
recommended you.
Yeah.
What was that like getting this, a stamp of approval from like a young professor who's like still very much in the field and doing things? Like
No, OC's the man. Shout out
Yeah.
OC. He's the best. No, it was really cool to be recommended for sure. And I learned a lot from his class. It was like a social media class. It was super fun. He kept it really laid back and chill, but we really learned a lot, even though it wasn't like we didn't have like a lot of homework or like tests or anything, but like we learned a lot just because he was very hands-on with everything, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Got you. Favorite thing you learned in his class?
Man, I don't. It wasn't. It was just like I kind of learned like an appreciation for like actually creating content. I've really mostly just been like editing my whole life.
Gotcha. Okay.
But actually creating the content was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. And then I believe What You Doing was your first internship, so that's dope.
It was.
So like how I think I came into your class. I think he just like asked anybody, and I think you volunteered or he pointed you out.
Yeah.
So like what did you initially think? Like did you, because it was our first time doing it too, so we didn't really know.
Yeah, I mean we all kind of were going into it blind in a sense and just kind of tried to make it what we could. But no, I thought it was cool. It was really cool to get like obviously I was working the board and doing things like that, but it was cool to just sit in and listen to people and get their perspectives on different things. And it was even had like some of my professors on there too, like Mario and so it was cool.
What about any favorites that you listened to last year?
Favorite episodes you mean?
Yeah.
Man, I don't. The one with Brian Fitzsimmons was cool because he was just hearing his story was really nice. And Mario too. Yeah, just because he was my professor, so it's kind of like relearning about his life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You always learn about someone. Even like we interviewed Alexa Akins. And I didn't even know she had like her parents had 12 siblings. So and I was like, what? I was like, I know you for like 15 years now, and I had no idea.
I have a friend who says if you want to learn something about somebody, stick a podcast mic in front of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly,
That's
pretty fair.
They'll
right?
talk.
Yeah. So obviously, you did a lot of things for us when you were an intern here. What were like the initial obviously getting into it? You did.
Editing the graphic, like how did you learn that? Because I think a lot of people, I think now you have to, because even like I know photographers that they know they can't get hired just to take photos anymore. Like you can't do one thing. So like, what made you learn all that stuff, and like how did you learn all that stuff too?
Yeah, I started out before college, which I think gave me an advantage.
That's crazy to think about. Because like if we were in high school, we were definitely not thinking about that stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean I always like enjoyed. I would edit just like random videos. I got like a knockoff GoPro and maybe like sophomore year of high school. So I would just like bring it to like a soccer field and record videos with my friends and stuff like that. So like the foundation of like learning how to edit and stuff like that started back then. And that really set me up for college for sure. But I've always loved being around sports, and I was never good at any sports, but I love playing them just for fun, but I was never good enough to like be on a team. So so I just tried to find a way to stick around sports
for sure.
So that was my way of being in sports but not playing them.
Gotcha. Yeah. And obviously that's a perfect segue. As as the internship goes on, obviously we got to know each other. I believe one of your first freelance jobs outside of school was with us at was it?
Sure. Yeah, it was one of the first. Yeah.
Oh wow, definitely. I didn't realize that. Yeah. Okay. So context to this, Anthony was we were looking for an editor. I work at Major League Soccer. We were looking for an editor for MLS Next Pro, and I was like, wait, I actually know a guy. I feel like he'd be doing a good job. I talked to people, and I was
soccer guy too.
Yeah, I'm a big soccer guy too, and I was like, he's a big soccer guy. I know you were already filming or you were already shooting games for NYCFC. You were shooting those games, so I was like, he's already got experience working in the sport. So everyone was like, okay, well, do you think you can do it? And I was like, I don't think. I know. And I feel like that's it one goes to show like a lot of like life is who you know as well.
Oh yeah.
And the work that you do for people, because honestly, if you weren't like always so hardworking here, I wouldn't have been like, because what's actually crazy about this? Now this is the first time I think I'm telling you this. You were the first person that we hired that was like I recommended. So you're the first person at Major League Soccer that I recommended.
You weren't working there a whole lot.
No, I had been there for like
a couple months.
Yeah. Honestly, and they were like, "Oh, do you know anybody?" And I was like, "I mean, I know a couple people."
They're probably like the new guy. Oh God.
Yeah. So they were like, "All right, the new guy knows somebody. Like, let's see about this." And it was you.
Yeah.
And you came in, knocked it out. Honestly, I was telling him this before, but like we did a project with MLS Next, which for those who don't know, it's like the largest or one of the largest youth soccer leagues in the country, and some of the best youth soccer players in the country playing it. And we did an all access. I gave Anthony. I used to just send you like a folder and with all this footage, and I'd be like, "We need a feature on this next week." What was that like on the other?
It was a lot at first, because sometimes I'd just get footage like 5 hours of footage and be like, make like a 15-minute video out of this. And I was like, all right. So it was cool getting like creative freedom and just kind of like free reign to do whatever. But yeah, it was fun to just be able to be creative and use different angles and piece the story together. And
definitely.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's funny because I personally that's one of my things with editors. I love to give them like more footage than you probably need, but also giving you the freedom to be like, go where your vision takes you. And you definitely did that. So. And it's funny because now even like some of the people who are in that, who are like MLS broadcasters and stuff, were all like, "Oh, this is a really cool video." Like I saw them liking it, sharing it, and wanting to like put it out there. What is that like for you when obviously I know that you continuously put content out, but when you see the people who you're creating content about enjoying and interacting with it, what's that like?
That's really cool and like gratifying. You had touched on it before, but I do photography at like Major League Soccer games, and seeing like players repost it and like it or whatever, it's really cool, and it like kind of gives you a sense of like, oh, you're doing a good job. So it's fun
for sure. And I feel like I know the answer to this next question, but I still want the people to hear it because I think it's a wild flex. So, who is your favorite player that you have shot in Major League Soccer?
Probably Lionel Messi. Yeah.
Yo, when I saw that, he was so close, like you could tell, I was like, yo, that's sick.
Yeah, I was like, all right, Anthony, that's crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was unreal.
What was that day like for you?
Crazy. I've been lucky enough to shoot him 3 times now.
Wow.
But
was that the first time, or was that
the first time? Was away in Philadelphia.
Okay.
It was maybe 2 months after he had gotten there, so
okay.
Obviously the hype is still there, but
Yeah.
but back then it was. I've never seen anything like it. Just the stadium was more than full.
Yeah.
Like it was every seat was full,
like,
and then everyone on the concourse.
Yeah.
The standing room. I didn't even know they sell standing room only that much. Like it definitely was like a fire hazard. The amount of people that were in that stadium, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a blessing and it's really cool. Like,
Wait a minute, I gotta ask. Did you see his security guard?
I did. I took pictures of him.
Yo, he's the man.
He
You
did
did the background on him?
Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy. He's like, isn't he like a like Navy guy or something?
He has some crazy background in that, and he is a big guy.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
And he's mobile too, huh?
And wait, does he really runs the field every game?
Yeah, I was watching. I was like watching the game, so I wasn't really watching him. But I've seen videos of him that he literally like.
Yo, you got to do a
Messi's
highlight
running down
reel
the
of
field.
him.
He will follow him. It's crazy. Yeah.
Highlight reel of him.
He deserves it. He's the hardest worker in the league.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think I read something too, like his actual staff of security guards is like 50 or something crazy for his whole family.
I mean, I believe it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty wild. But who are other big athletes that was like really cool moments for you to have shot?
My first big one, I think it was actually my first game, first Major League Soccer game. Wayne Rooney was the coach of DC United at the time, and so I went to the press conference after the game, and he was just sitting right there, and I was like,
it's crazy.
Because that was my first game. That was really when I was just like soaking it all in, and like this is wild. But to have him there was crazy. And then I mean Miami has a lot of
guys.
players that I watched growing up, and it's like just weird to like see them up close.
100%. 100%. I met a few of them at All Star, and I was like, this is like wild, and it's like crazy because like again I knew they would be there all that, but then it's still like you never get over like certain when you're at a certain level, like no matter what.
Yeah.
It's how PG was when he met me the first time.
And that's how I was when I met you.
But anyways, on a serious question, where does like your work ethic come from?
I don't know. I think when you enjoy what you do, it's like it just comes natural. It's like I've definitely found that when I'm doing things that I don't want to do, that I'm like a lot like all right, like I don't know,
Yeah.
But no, I mean if you're doing things that you love, it's cliche, but it doesn't feel like a job. It's like it's just great to do.
For sure. And speaking of doing fun things, we recently saw you at your current job, which first of all, can you let people know where you're currently at now?
Yeah. So I'm currently an intern at the Dan Patrick Show.
Yeah.
So a lot of Sacred Heart connection there.
Definitely.
So currently I'm my main priority is making like the Instagram reels and TikTok and general social media content, but I also travel to Maine with Dan. He built like a cabin house out there, so we do live streams on Peacock and everything from up there. So it's been an adventure so far. I've been there about a little over 6 months, and it's a lot of fun.
And most recently, we saw you. It was Pi Day recently.
Mm-hmm.
What was Pi Day like at the DP show?
Pi Day was it was an interesting day. So a recurring bit that we have on the show is pie in the face bet. So you make a bet with one other person. Usually it's callers calling into the show. And if you lose your bet, you take a pie to the face. So I was lucky enough to deliver a pie to the face. It was my first on-air appearance. And it was a lot of fun. It was it was cool.
Was your phone blowing up when everyone saw you? Like
it was. It was really weird seeing like my friends like interacting with the post and also seeing comments like, "Dang, intern Anthony is like he's killing him out there." And I'm like, oh, like So
was that weird to pie your coworker in the face?
It was for sure. He's a really nice guy too. I felt bad. I also didn't know how to pie. So I've never pied someone. So I didn't know how fast to do it. The wind started picking up, so I was like, oh my god, I can't drop this. Like, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
How do you feel like 1 to 10? What would they give your pieing?
I apologized to him after. I was like, listen, I'm sorry. He was like, no, that was great. Like, you did it perfectly. So, listen, it's content at the end of the day.
Right, yeah.
So, I think I did a good job. But, no, all good feedback, I think, from that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine, hey, your mom just asked you, what'd you do at work today? Oh, I potted some guy in the face.
I my coworker in the face.
It's something new every day, for sure. Good job. So, yeah, that was fun.
What other, like, fun things have happened on the show? Do guests ever come into the show?
Every now and then, yeah. So, we had, when they were in New York City, they would get a lot more since we're in, Connecticut now. It's a little more tricky, but we have, like, guest hosts sometimes when Dan's not there. So, we've had Ryan Leaf, who was second overall pick.
Right.
I believe that was a Peyton Manning draft.
Yes, it was. He was picked before Peyton.
Yeah. So we had him. So every now and then, we'll get people in the studio. Peter King was there too.
Legend.
But mostly Zoom. But every now and then we'll get a nice surprise.
Gotcha. What is it like going from, obviously, Mario is one of your professors, and then now working with him at the DP show? Yeah. Did you have Professor Peps?
I did. Yep.
You did? Okay. Yep. And also, what is it like, going with both of these being your professors to now being like your coworker?
Yeah, it's almost like another Sacred Heart campus. It's like our entire back room. It's not only him, not only Paul and Mario, but also we have Ray and Rob, who also went to Sacred Heart.
Gotcha, okay.
So yeah, it's really cool. It's an interesting dynamic having been their student to now being their coworker. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
PG, is it
fun SHU time?
I don't know. You got something else?
I get no, I was gonna ask, like, has there been any guests on the show that you were like, oh my god, that's dope?
Yeah, a lot. The cool part for me too is I get to interact, I guess, through them through social media. So when I'm creating the posts and I post them, a lot of times I'll add them as a collaborator, and they won't always accept it, but every now and then they do. Like Mark Sanchez accepted that. I grew up a big Jets fan, so seeing him, seeing like something that I made on his like account is cool. And then like Steve Young too, and just so every now and then like seeing stuff like that is really cool, and that's fun.
Gotcha. What's your favorite reel that you've made for them?
Boy, I don't know. There's a lot of fun ones. Seeing them do really well is cool. So like some of them will get like over 1 million views and like stuff like that is crazy. My favorite one though probably, there was one, the Mark Sanchez one too, but there was one, Johnny Bench. He was a Hall of Fame catcher. We had him on soon after Pete Rose died.
Oh wow, okay.
And he he was just like sharing stories, and it was really cool seeing stuff like that. And then he accepted the collab too, so it was cool. Getting like feedback really is the part that makes it cool.
For sure.
Just seeing all the comments like, wow, this is like really nice.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's not obviously me creating the doing the talking, but being able to like broadcast it out to people, it's really cool.
Definitely, and in a different fashion. Obviously, the DP show has had many iterations, obviously from solely radio to what is it, simulcast now?
Now we're on Peacock.
Peacock. Yeah. So crazy.
Yeah.
All right, PG.
All right,
it's time.
Fun SHU.
We're waiting on this one.
New pending.
You've heard this from a million.
I feel like I'm gonna have a different perspective though, because I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm the youngest we've had so far. No.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So I might have different answers.
No, but we like to know. You're for sure.
Know.
You
so
were a different era of SHU.
Yeah. Put you on the hot seat first. First one. Who was your favorite professor?
Oh boy.
You got two of them that.
I know.
You got to work for it.
All right, I'll exclude those two because they're my.
No, you got to pick one of those two.
No.
Who do you like more?
No. Excluding those two. Tony Mariello.
Okay.
He's the man. Big Mets and Jets fan like myself, so we would always talk about that. But
great dude.
But also the classes he taught were stuff that I love. Like, it was like editing classes. And he sticks around, does the broadcast here. So yeah, Tony's the man.
Yeah, since you're the youngest member, I'd say, like, what's your favorite building on campus?
Favorite building? I mean, Martiri has a special place in my heart. I'm here all the time. But other than that,
what do the kids call this stuff now? Like, I want to know the new slang.
I guess this is Martiri. The hockey arena, I feel like there's not really a name for it yet because it's the Martiri family arena, but we're not going to call it Martiri because this is Martiri.
1 and 2.
I don't know. There's been some names thrown around, but yeah.
They're what?
Donations.
Oh yeah.
Well, shout out to them.
Shout out to Martiri family.
If you want to sponsor this too, you can.
Yeah.
All right. What's the other one, PG?
What? Oh, I know you're a commuter, so I don't know if you ate
No,
here
I
or
lived
not.
on campus.
Oh yeah, you did to the venue. Oh, what was your favorite like meal here?
Favorite meal? Burrito bowls at Thea's. Great.
Yeah,
What is
what?
Thea's?
Wait,
See?
Hold
So,
up. Yeah.
you got burrito bowls.
Right, hold
We
up.
got Chipotle here now. What?
that's essentially what it was. Yeah. So Thea's is one of the
That's fire.
new upper quad.
Upper quad.
Upper
Upper
quad.
quad.
That's what it's called.
Put some respect on the campus. All right.
Yeah. So it's the upper quad.
Wait. Let's go through this. Year
yeah.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Where did you live?
So year one, I was in Tucson Hall.
Tucson.
So Tucson Hall, you guys, I'm sure you guys are familiar. It's
Yeah, I
the
know.
old Jewish center.
Yes.
It was like but it wasn't owned by Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
Back then, but then they bought it.
Yes.
And I think I was maybe the second class to live in it or something like that. But yeah, so Tucson Hall freshman year, Versati Hall second.
Versati.
Versace.
Versace. Yo, what?
He would have been in Versace.
Yeah, I've been in Versace.
Yeah. No, I mean I got lucky to live in the upper
What are
quad
these names?
the first 2 years.
I need to look them up now.
Yeah.
They're
Versati was that one was built the year before I moved in also.
God bless America.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Year
so yeah,
three,
Versati, year three and 4 is off campus housing.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What were those names again? Just two more times.
Tucson Hall.
Tucson.
Yep. And
Tucson,
then
French.
Versati Hall.
Okay. I like them. This is crazy.
This
A
is
whole shoe world.
Whole different world. Anthony, we like to close. We gotta leave that in there. Last question. We always like to close out with advice that you would give your younger self.
Yeah.
So if you look at yourself 4 years ago,
Not yet.
Yeah, young Anthony.
what would you say?
Get involved for sure. That was the thing that I look back on. I mean, I'm still in grad school here, but like I look back on and like I wish I got involved more. I was always like a guy that was like, oh, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and things will happen as they happen. But like it's really good to like find your people, and
For sure.
It teaches you a lot about yourself and like what you like, and who you want to surround yourself with and stuff. So yeah, I definitely wish I'd gotten involved more. And yeah, there's like nothing worse than like being a senior and being like looking back and like, man, like it went by so quick that like I wish I got involved. So yeah, I would definitely say that.
For sure. It's great advice to close it out. Anthony, we appreciate it, man. It's really awesome to see you continuing to rise to new heights. We know this is just the beginning. So
Yeah, I bragged to Miller about you.
Thank you.
Like,
for sure, we definitely brag to Miller and anyone in the school who will listen. We're like, listen, Anthony's off doing a lot of good stuff. He was an intern with us at one point. He did everything. So
Appreciate it.
keep killing it, man.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. This is another episode of What You Doing. We'll see y'all next time.